Hello YouTube, Shadowsmith here. In this video, we're going to be loading up a ladder test for the Johnson pistol 32 Smith & Wesson. Now this is going to be a pretty lengthy video. It's going to talk about components, it's going to talk about priming, we're going to go through sizing, loading, charging, setting the overall length, and we'll have a little range time where you'll actually see me on the range shooting this, checking the barrel. And it's gonna be long, so feel free to fast forward to the parts you want to skip over or skip to, and then at the very end we do a range report where we show you the target that we shot. And I try to keep that brief at the end, but like I said, feel free to fast forward. Let's get started. Hello YouTube. Today we're going to be loading some 32 Smith & Wesson. Our components are going to be Starline brass, unique powder, Hunter's Supply cast bullets, and S&B small pistol primers. Alright, let's get started. Okay, I've got my little data sheet here. I've got the case, primer, case length, it shows the maximum, and we're going to measure the actual. I have bullet powder, overall length, and all that stuff there. So let's go ahead and measure a couple. We're going to do 15. So we're going to do a short ladder test here. We're going to start with 1.4 grains, go 1.5 and 1.6. Now we're seeing what works best for my pistol. You may not want to do this to yours depending on the age and the condition your pistol's in. The condition of it may not even be fit to fire. So if you're concerned about it, have a gunsmith check it out and look at it. Now let's measure a couple. Or more than a couple. So our max length, based on our data we got from our book, is going to be 0.605. So we're getting 0.599 on that one. 599 and a half. And you may have to spin these. They may have a slight burr on them. Okay, they're all very consistent. Starline makes some good brass. That one was just a thousandths short. That one was too. Every once in a while, slide your caliper back, make sure it's 0. These are so tiny. Kind of hard to handle. Could be a 25 though, right? Okay, we're good. So we're not over the maximum. And we'll make a quick note of that. All right, let's size. Just ordered this die set last week, and it's funny, you see this little case, and Lee die sets always come with a dipper, and this is what they sent, the 4cc. So that is huge. I sent Lee an email, and in the email it said, hey, I just ordered this. I told him who I ordered it from, Gave them the order number in case they wanted to check, all that. And said, hey, you sent me a 4cc dipper by mistake. I'm pretty sure it's supposed to come with a 0.17. So I sent that this morning. And I got a reply back with, I guess it was probably within an hour or two. And it stated that I had the older die set, that the new ones they're shipping out, they started in the spring or summer, included the 0.14. But any previously put the 4.0. And they're shipping me one out. They emailed me the receipt, so I guess it's going in the mail and I should get it, I guess, in a week or whatever. So pretty cool. So I got a spare 4.0 now with a 0.17 on the way, which is not included in the powder measure kit. If you did order that or have one, it doesn't include the 0.17. So that was nice of them. They didn't have to do that. But I'm assuming they probably included that 4.0 in there so no one would use a dipper, because their smallest dipper would have been too high of a charge for any powder. I didn't even think about tightening the depriming pin, but we're not depriming, so it should be okay. I just like to size the new brass one time just to make sure everything's good on it. Kind of feels like we should have sized it too. So I'm excited to shoot this pistol. And I was gonna prime on with a hand primer. And I thought I might do it with a press, but I think I'll still do it with a hand primer. Not sure if I got that third one. So yeah, I did. Some folks will prime, full length size new brass. Other people won't. I feel the difference in sizing it. I can definitely feel that first size and a difference in that second one. I can feel the difference. I was going to use 231 for this load, but then I purchased the powder from the local retailer, and I was thinking, I really want unique. I didn't have any, and so I thought, shoot, let's go with unique. And luckily, I did not have a book for this, but I'm a member of a couple of groups on Facebook, reloading groups, and a couple of fine men sent me the load date out of there. I think one book was a 1944, or no, maybe it was a 77, and then another one was another older Lyman book. So my new Lee manual, the 2016, did not have the 32. It had the 32 long, but not the 32. The old one did. So it's good to keep those old books around, but it only had one powder listed, and that was 231. I believe it may have had Vectin too, but I didn't want to use either one of those, and I thought about black powder, but then I changed my mind. I was like, nah, I'm not going to do that. So I'm going to stick with the powder I can use on other things too. Okay, let's get to priming. All right. Man, that is a tight primer pocket right there. Wow. This brass is going to last. I can already tell. Man. Thinking I probably should have primed these on press. It would have been easier. I think the toughest thing on loading this will be charging the cases. I may actually charge them on press. I think I will. I think I'll use that powder through expanding die and charge these on press. I think that's going to be easier than trying to fumble with the powder funnel. So I'll have to be careful moving around that I don't knock my scale out of zero. That is a strong primer pocket. They're seating good and flush. That was a little bit loose there. The rest, good and tight. Okay, let's get our scale set up. Powder charging die. Okay, I think what I'm gonna do with this, I pulled out my chart off my dipper kit, pulled up Unique, and looked at the dipper size, and the 0.17, which is not included in the kit, gives approximately a 1.6 grain charge. So that's going to be top end. So I think what I'm going to do, instead of trying to do the 0.3 cc, I think I'm just going to trickle them all in there. Because their chargers are so low, I think that'd be better than having to jump back and forth through that 0.33. I don't know, trickling I may use the dipper too. I'll try the dipper. Alright, let's throw some powder in. We'll see how this trickles. Not sure how well it's going to perform. We'll try the dipper. Maybe getting like a half scoop. So anyone that's not seen Unique, it's a big flake. I don't know if you can see that very well. Almost wafer-like. Alright, so our first charge is going to be 1.4. I'm going to double check my scale to make sure it is on 0. Everything's on 0. I'm there, so I'm good. So 1.4. There we go. I'll go ahead and prime. This may not meter very well because it's so big. Actually, for our purposes, it's metering great because it's dropping a flake at a time, so that's good. Let's see what this one looks like. Okay, so that's way over. That's giving us 4, 5, 6. That's giving us 1.6, so that's top of the charge. There we go, that's better. Almost there. That's on it. Okay. Now, if you've got a new die set and you got one of these powdered through expanding dies, definitely take it apart and clean it, because it's going to have machine oil on it, and we don't want any powder getting caught up in that drop tube, getting stuck, and then releasing on our final charge, which is our limit where we're stopping at. So with a case such as this, every little flake is going to make a difference. So be very careful. And if you do buy another die set for 32 Smith & Wesson, excuse me, and say you get an RCBS or a Redding or a Lyman and it does not come with a shell holder, it's the same shell holder as a 223 556. So if you've already got that shell holder, you don't need to purchase another one. Okay, I got nothing on that. Let's readjust this die. Maybe I went. There we go. Got a little contact there. Let's see how bullet seats. Or sits, not seats. So there's our little bullets there. Little bitty thing. 76 grains. Alright, we're going to have to go out a little bit further. Down. Wee bit more. Wow, I'm not getting even close to it. Let's see here. And these dies are actually 32 auto. That's what they say on the box, or on the die. So if you can't find 32 Smith & Wesson, get 32 auto. They should do the same thing, I would think. They may not, I don't know. But these dies say 32 auto. So it may just be the leads that are that way. So if you've got a 32 auto you want to load for, and you can't find dies for it, you can buy the 32 Smith & Wesson Lee set, and it's going to work. That's a little bit too much right there, I think. By George, that worked though. Build the shit out of it. The bullets are a little sticky. Okay, that's going to work. Okay, so we'll raise that ram. And we'll take our powder funnel. And this is why I decided to primal press, because I would have to hold my pinky up there. And I'm scared that charge will pop out. So these dies are made just for their funnel, so it should work perfect. Well, that's a good little fill on that. I'm going to go ahead and set up the seating die while we're here. Go back out on this stem. This one says 32 auto on it also. I hope this crimps. Let me look down through there and make sure yeah. No stuck powder. Okay, now we should back out 3 full turns. That will give us no crimp. 1, 2, and 3. So we're going to seat it first, and then we will crimp it and set our crimp. And these bullets do have a crimp groove on them. Alright, we're going to multitask with this turret. Man, fingers are sticking to the bullet. I'm going to eyeball it till we get close. We'll pull it out so I can see that crimp groove. Actually, I take that back. That may not be a crimp groove. My eyes are getting old. Okay. Overall length. Yeah, that does have a crimp groove. Right there. $70. I'm going to drop it in the pistol. Oh yeah. Got a little oil on it. Okay, right there's where we want to crimp. Alright, so we got our overall length. We'll back out on that seating stem. And we're going to apply some crimp. Okay. We're going to go a half turn. Let's see how that looks. Hardly anything. Alright, we'll go quarter of a turn. When I start getting close, I don't do those half turns. Wee bit more. Okay, that would be 1 turn down from the 3 up. I don't think we're hitting anything. We went 3 up. We'll go ahead and go a half. If we have to pull this bullet, we will. I just totally contradicted what I just said, didn't I? There we go. Got a nice little crimp. It's not overly crimped. I think that'd be good enough to charge this. We got a pretty good case feel. Using that unique. I'm happy with that. Man, that lube is sticky. All right, let's turn our bullet stem down. There we go. First round is loaded. That's a nice thing about a turret. You just turn that puppy back and you're back in business. There we go. Put my funnel back in. Now my funnel can stay. Ah, didn't have a case. There's a blunder for you right there. I just spilled powder everywhere. We got to raise that round with a case in it first, y'all. I'm going to leave that on there. As a lesson, don't do anything that distracts you from loading, including filming. It's actually a pretty good case fill. I'm surprised at that. Looks like I got a piece of brass. Okay, that was a slither of brass in that case, and kind of freaked me out for a second. I guess the expanding die is just kind of shaving a little bit off of that brass, but the last time I used the trickler was with that Shooter's World blackout powder, and I thought one of those sticks may have got stuck and dropped in there, but that was not the case. It was shaving the brass. So, no worries there. So I'm not really certain about this die set right here, because it's just not very fluid. It could be because it's so tiny and I'm just not used to loading such small ammo. But it is. I mean, that's a tiny little round right there. So here's our last charge. I even had to wipe a little bit of brass shavings off that case holder or shell holder. Uh-oh. Last round. Okay. We got 15 rounds, 5 of each of the unique 1.4, 1.5, and 1.6. I'm thinking that 1.5 will probably do the trick right there. But we'll just have to take them to the range and see. So anyone that's ever loaded 32 Smith & Wesson, you feel my pain with data in new books, and finding bullets and cases can be rough to find. I'm not sure if Starline even still manufactures these. This could be new old stock, but I'm sure they do. So we're going to take them to the range. We'll see how they perform. And my guesstimate is the 1.5 is going to be the ticket. We'll have to wait and see. Alright, we're going to try the 1.4. I gotta say, I was a little nervous on that. Spent case. Any signs of high pressure? Looks good. Barrel's unobstructed. Round. I'm not sure where that hit, but it hit somewhere. It's like a flying high. Signs of pressure. That's good. We can move up. Let's see what that looks like. Wow, I'm kind of all over the place. Still going to go in the middle. Now pulling this double action, so it's a little bitty pistol. no signs of pressure. Looking good. They're extracting a little rough. Looks like I may have some unburnt powder. Barrel looks good. I hope you can hear this. Okay, 1.6 grains of unique. So let's look at these. A little bit better grouping, but it's nowhere close to where I aimed. That's if you even call that a grouping. Looks like I read my writing. Get back. Alright, we're shooting a little high, so I'm gonna aim a little low. No significant signs of pressure. A little hard to extract though. These two, we got two back to back, but that is double action only, not single action, so it's probably the shooter, not the pistol. It's probably some on the pistol. Not bad, not bad. All right, let's go to the tabletop. Range report. Here's our target. Now all these, I was aiming right here. So you can notice everything's kind of up here. First 5 shots was the 1.4 grains. This is my first one, and you can tell from the firing video, I was kind of nervous on that. So I probably pulled that way up. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So not too bad on that. There's no grouping by any means. 1.5 would be 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then 1.6, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So the best two shots was that 1.6, but I'm thinking probably the 1.4 or the 1.5 is probably the best ones. So if we exclude this 1.4 here for that first shot, and we've got here to here, so it's probably about 6-inch spread on that, and 1.5 would be the next closest. 1.6 is probably, I don't know, they're all pretty much about the same. So maybe 1.6 is probably the best one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't know, they're all pretty consistently bad. But all in all, when I shot that first shot, I was very nervous, and I was kind of a little nervous on each first shot of the three ladder test. And also, when I made that shot, it took about 8 minutes to film shooting those 15 shots. But I checked the barrel to make sure that that bullet exited every time. And we looked at the groups, but making sure that bullet came out of the barrel was important to me. I didn't want to have anything crazy go on. But I did have some extraction problems, but I'm thinking it's probably due to there's a lot of heavy rust buildup in the actual chambers here. But luckily for me, the barrel was in good shape on this pistol. So I look forward to firing some more and review of our components: Starline brass, Hunter Supply bullets. We used S&B primers, and kind of a cool experience shooting this old pistol with with some older powder since 1899. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed it, and maybe we'll do some more. And I've got another older pistol that later on we may do an episode on it. Thank you.